Hi guys, this is gsnhome.com and I'm here with the Motorola Edge 30 Neo, freshly unveiled in the very Perry color version. It's the official color of the year, courtesy of Pantone, who always selects a brand new color of the year every year. And guess what? I actually spoke with a guy from Pantone and he told me he already selected the color for 2023. Anyway, this phone was supposed to be the Edge 30 Lite, I feel, but in the end Motorola decided to call it Edge 30 Neo. Now we have a case already applied on it, and to be honest, it's a bit annoying to remove. And here we are at last. Not a good idea to place this on the phone. You should probably place it in an envelope. Motorola, remember that. It's a transparent bumper sort of case. Okay, so we're here for an unboxing, and this is the very Perry color version. Catches the light in a nifty manner. It may look like blue, but it's actually a sort of purple. Lovely camera area here with a dual tone approach, matte and also glossy. Let's fire it up. It's a pretty compact phone, I'll give you that much. It feels like it capitalizes on the trend of the small phones from this year. Zenfone 9 comes to mind, the Galaxy S22, Xiaomi 12. It's not that small, but it's definitely pretty close. Okay, so it's an unboxing, so let's see what's inside the box. And to be honest, this is a very light and slim phone, which is possibly destined for youngsters. And it also has a cool feature here. This part, this area here, is able to light up, this part around the camera, actually reminding me of the Oppo Reno 7 Lite. We also have an eco-friendly packaging, plastic-free, recyclable, and involving soy ink. In the box we find the manual and another piece of information, and the key used to access the slots. We're only dealing with the dual nano SIMs as far as I know. This is the charger with an USB-C connector. It's a pretty hefty one, and from what I know, it should charge up the phone at around, let's see, 68 watts according to what's written here, unless it's 89, but it's rather 68. We go further and finally we find the USB-C to USB-C cable, and I like this motif, this I would say brown beige motif, which sort of defines the eco-friendly approach of the product. Well, we're done with the accessories. Let's focus on the phone. We don't have a price right now. I'm guessing it should be around the 300 euro mark. And this handset is also available in other colors like black onyx. This is the very Perry. There's also aqua foam and ice palace. It doesn't have an audio jack, but it does have a branding here. It's Dolby Atmos, and we have stereo speakers comprised of the bottom one and also the top one, which is also the earpiece. Now, we don't exactly know the material used here, but I have a feeling it's plastic at the back side and plastic for the frame as well. The texture actually feels a bit like sandpaper to me. It reminds me of a certain OnePlus or Oppo phone, but the camera module definitely gives it a lot of personality. It's very comfy to use with a single hand, so much so that it actually reminds me a bit of the recently tested Zenfone 9, which we have here. Now the screen you're enjoying at this moment is a plastic OLED, 6.28 inches in diagonal, Full HD+, and I'm also curious if it has any gimmicks related to its, well, refresh rate. So we go here, brightness level, adaptive brightness, lock screen, display size, font size, color and refresh rate, which can be set up to 120 Hz, so gamers will definitely be pleased. This is the screen. It has, I would say, symmetrical bezels, reasonably narrow for my taste, and let's see now what's inside the device. But first of all, we stop and check out the fingerprint scanner in the screen, an optical one. Okay, so having noticed the brand new widget here for the weather and time, we proceed to this app here, which will reveal the CPU. Qualcomm Snapdragon 695, saw it on the Realme 9 Pro and a lot of mid-range phones this year. It's a 6nm 5G CPU, and in the current case it's accompanied by 8 gigs of RAM or 128 gigabytes of storage. There's no micro SD once again. The battery feels a bit modest. It's a 4000 mAh unit, well, similar to the one we've seen on the Motorola Edge 30, which actually surpassed expectations. I've heard that the charge should be at around 33 watts. I actually doubt it because you have such a powerful charger in the box. It would be a pity not to use it. Now, aside from that, I think it's time to address the cameras. So, in this punch hole here at the top side, we have a 32 megapixel shooter, while at the back side we find a dual camera, and the star of the show is a 64 megapixel shooter with optical image stabilization, and then we have the 13 megapixel ultra wide camera. Okay, so let's have a quick glance at the interface and see if there's anything special camera wise. Okay, so first of all, the bad news. From what I can see here, there's no tweaking for the resolution. You're stuck with Full HD in 30 or 60 frames per second. I've seen that on other phones with its CPU. Now, if you go to the options, you can find panorama, time-lapse, night vision, dual capture, front and back camera at the same time, spot color, ultra resolution, and spot color for video. The Pro mode lets you do tweaks to the exposure, ISO, shutter, white balance, and focus, and you can also take a raw photographs. We have a portrait mode here. This is the photo section with the ultra wide and macro option, and this is the video area once again, plus slow motion is also part of the package. Let's see the OS we're running. If you were lucky, this would be Android 13, but it's most likely just good old, well, Android 12. Let's actually see if we can find that. System, okay. About phone again, device name, SIM status, software channel. Oh, Android 12, just missed it. So it's Android 12 with Motorola custom interface, with this Moto app, which has a brand new interface and lets you do some tweaks in the personalized section. You can play with the layout, fonts, colors, icon shapes, sounds, display size, font size, a lot of things. Okay, you can also pick some presets from here, and you can also borrow from the colors of the wallpaper in order to apply those colors to your icons and menus, thanks to the Material You feature from Android 12. Now, aside from that, let's see if we also have, yes, we do have Ready For is available here. It lets you connect to a PC or tablet, or TV or display. When you connect into a PC or tablet, you'll be able to stream apps, use a mobile desktop feature, or do some instant tethering. With a TV or display, you'll also be able to connect a keyboard and mouse, do some video chat using the phone as a sort of webcam, but that's a whole different deal, which we'll test further. As you can see, I'm navigating using gestures, and if you're looking for special features in this Moto app, you have more than just the personalization. You have the gestures here, quite a few of them. You also have the tips and tricks. You have the display features, peak display and attentive display. And finally, the gaming features. We have those features for gamers, which are actually downloadable from what I can see. The games will be downloaded straight to that dedicated section. We have a sidebar area, which lets you tweak some of the features. And you also have an area for audio files with the Dolby Atmos and the settings. These are the modes: smart audio, music, movie, game, podcast, and custom. Now, in the end, it feels like a phone for the youngsters. It's definitely cool enough color-wise. It's easy to maneuver with a single hand and promises a lot with the main camera with optical image stabilization. I'm actually quite curious to see how it delivers on the selfie front, because selfies matter a lot for the young audience. That's it from gsn1.com. First contact with the freshly unveiled Motorola Edge 30 Neo in the cool Very Perry hue. And actually don't want to end this without showing you the way the backside lights up. So you can definitely go here, sound and lights. We got Dolby Atmos, by the way, here. We got the light effects, and you can activate them on an incoming call, alarm, message, or charging. Check it out. I'm going to set an alarm, and you can actually be able to see how it performs. Let's turn down the volume a bit, add the alarm, make it 3, and then 57, maybe 55. Would be nice if it let me do this. Okay, the alarm should start, and you should be able to see it shining brightly around this area. And by the way, Pantone usually picks a color of the year depending on the context: social, economic, historical, geopolitical. There are multiple factors for picking a color. This year was all about the Pantone Very Perry. Next year, who knows? Maybe related to the conflict they had this year in Europe. Who knows? Okay, so we're still waiting for it to shine. You can see the white here, the white of the LEDs, just like we had on the Oppo Reno 7 Lite, but there were rings around the cameras. We don't have a ring here. We have a rectangle of light around the camera. You can see it's shining, and I can actually set how bright it can be. And that's about it. Okay, so first contact is done. This is the Motorola Edge 30 Neo. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. Goodbye.